All right. We'll let the internet tell people that we're live. I guess I can bring up a little. There we go. All official and big. All right. So long week.
No, not really. No, not a long week. It's a normal week.
Normal week.
Yeah, it's a normal week.
All right.
Usually, a long week is at home, but when you're fishing, it a week goes by super fast. So you do like a lot. There's long weeks prior to these short competitions. They go really fast.
Oh,
Really fast.
well. How was it? What give me the recap, I guess.
Fall time fishing.
Fall time fishing.
Always hard, man. It's always hard. I don't care where you go. I don't care what lake it is. I don't care if we go to your lake, my lake, his lake, to the pond. Fall time fishing is always tough. So, I was already expecting it to be pretty hard. I never pre-fish for events, and I came here and tried to pre-fish because I wanted to know where every nook, cranny, culvert, rock, ledge. I wanted to know where everything was. So I did that a couple weeks ago. It definitely paid off to come spend a couple of days because as hard as it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, it got even harder with 176 boats. Got even harder.
All right. Well, guys, we got one last extra bonus session with Mr. Brian Latimer. Falcon Mercury, you up rig and tackle, getting ready for the next one already?
Yep. Cherokee tomorrow morning.
All right.
Let's go again.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to jump in with our virtual Fish Fest. Guys, I want to just cover real quick. We are doing a giveaway. And the big prize will be a chance to do our straight up fishing pro-am Neely Henry.
So back on Neely again.
So we're doing the big. And this time you can't say I haven't fished here in a while.
Back on Neely.
So we'll get the band back together, I guess you could say.
We might have to find like a local pond this time. Or try Weiss or something.
All right.
I might have to do something.
We'll put everybody in kayaks. How about that? All right.
We'll just fish out of the toilets here in Neely at
How about man. That?
Let's just do that. If we're gonna go out and do that, let's just fish out of the toilets.
All right. So that's gonna be the big prize, guys. So drop us some comments, get the questions rolling in, and we'll do another little Q&A session here with Brian. Always fun to talk with you. And we'll pick a winner at the end out of the comments. So like and share as we're live. And let's let people know. I know I think we're starting to push up against some Alabama football. I don't particularly not all that interested in Alabama football, but
I can't say I've ever watched a full football game in my life.
There are a few folks around here. So guys, yep, we're doing discounts. If you want one free entry into that raffle, you just head over bucksisland.com. You can scroll down. I've got a shop tackle button. You can't miss it. That'll take you over to our tackle website. You can fill in just an email sign up form, get you one free entry, and then we're doing 10% off. And we got discount codes and the deal. So that'll all be posted every day for the next week. We're doing 10% off in the tackle store, and we got a bunch of good stuff to give away. So that's the spiel on Virtual Fish Fest. So guys, drop us some questions in here. Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck just running on asking questions.
I see a couple up there already.
Yep. So let's pull this in. What rod do you like for crankbaits and lipless baits?
So I'm actually designing a rod right now, a favorite. It's going to be my R series, the reaction series rods. That's what I use this week. I've got two of them. They're graphite composite rods. One's a 610 for like balsa crankbaits, smaller crankbaits, shad wraps, all those little bitty crankbaits, square bill crankbaits, 1.5s, 2.5s. It's a 610 medium graphite composite that I made exactly like how I want. And then I also have, like, for lipless crankbaits, usually I'm trying to make a little longer cast. it's not so much about accuracy. It's more about longer casts, reach
Okay.
out, touch them. So I made a 7.2 medium heavy, and that medium heavy is going to be it's going to be an R6 and an R7. R6 is a 610, R7 is 7.2. The 610 is a medium power, and the 7.2 is going to be a medium heavy. Throw lipless on the medium heavy 7.2. I also made it where you can throw a chatterbait. It's got enough backbone on it. I like a graphite composite for chatterbaits too, so you'll be able to use it for fishing chatterbait as well.
Well, so I know in the last live we actually had a question about thoughts on favorites. So why don't you expand on what I mean? Obviously sponsored by them.
Yeah.
You're out earning money with them.
Yeah. So I've been using Favorite ever since I started fishing the tour. I think my rookie season, about halfway through, I started using Favorite rods. So we've been growing a lot. Got a lot of different models that we added. You've probably seen me use the Hex series, which is like the Hex is pretty much the Mercedes of fishing rods. You're gonna see Mark Daniels. He's creating the flipping rod in the Hex series, which is, I mean, it's an expensive rod, but it's got all the bells and whistles on it. It's got all the ceramic guides. It's got the best reel seat. He's going to create a flipping rod in that series. I'm doing the 6 stick is where I'm doing my signature series in. So I've got 3 rods, the 2 graphite composite rods that I just told you about. And I'm also doing a spinning rod. You know, I got to do my finesse stuff. So I got a signature series 7'1" 6 stick that I just got through rigging up. I got the final prototype. I literally just rigged it up in my boat just 15-20 minutes ago. So yeah, this we got like new stuff coming out. All like I just told you about 2 or 3 projects, but just about all of your tool level guys have put some input on these rods, especially the Pro Series that we just came out with last year. Instead of us having our own just signature series, which we're all going to get that too, we took everybody's input and created the Pro Series. So myself, Scott, Mark, Andy Morgan, Skylar Hamilton. It's like 10 of Zach Birds that we got together and made the Pro Series last year. So it's a more economical deal. It's not your $400 rod like the Hex Series is. It's like $159 rod that everybody can buy and have like a competition grade piece of equipment.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to send a bill to Favorite. Since,
Yeah.
So I know some of you may ask, since we've been working with you, why don't we carry Favorite in the loft? And I think the honest answer is we're limited on space up there.
Yeah.
And it's been a project of growing. So who knows? If you ask us enough for it, maybe
get it.
Maybe it'll show up.
You got to come in here and just beat the doors down and ask where Favorite rods are.
But all right, that's let's see here, Falcon. Now this is one we can definitely jump on. What do you like about the 195 over the 205? I like the way he phrased it.
Yeah, I never said that. Never said that I like it over the.
Well,
there's 2 different tools, 2 totally different tools. It's like asking why do you like a Phillips head screwdriver over a flathead? You need both of them for 2 different tools. A 19.5 is obviously going to be a lot smaller. It's going to respond a little quicker on the trolling motor. It's going to get out the hole a little bit faster. It's going to fit in your garage a little bit better. You don't need a biggest tow vehicle to take it. 205, that's what you need when you're going to fish, a lot of tournaments from Florida to New York. 205, 215 is going to be your piece of equipment there. I've always toyed with the idea of actually using a 195, just simply because I do like the way that it responds on the trolling motor. When you hit the trolling motor to the right, the boat moves. When you hit it to the left, the boat moves. It's a lot more responsive, and you can tell the difference in the fishability of it. Just the only thing that keeps me from buying it is we almost always have a couple events on big water. When I say big water, I'm not talking about Neely Henry that opens up in that one section, or your little 20,000 or 50,000 acre lake that opens up in one section. We have some places where you need to make a 100-mile run, and it might be in 8-footers. So fuel capacity is why I use a 205.
Okay,
50 gallons versus 36. That's a big difference. 15 gallons is literally, that could be 50, 60 miles difference And I have had to make those long runs where even with 50-gallon tank that I've had to get fuel before. So fuel capacity makes me go to a 205, and the fact that we go to some extremely big water sometime up north keeps me in the 205. But if I was fishing around local, like local events, team tournaments, 195, I'd have it, no doubt.
All right. Well, I know the 190. Have you spent much time running the 195 with the 200?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, yeah. That 195 with a 200. Listen, they could have made the Falcon could have made that 195 ready for 150. It's that fast. Like it could have been a 150, 175 deal. The 200 on that 195, you need to know what you're doing when you get behind the wheel of that boat. That's not the boat that you buy for your 16-year-old that's fishing high school fishing. Like 195 with a 200 it's a rocket. It wants to leave here. It is what the name suggests. It's a bird. It wants to leave the water. So yeah, it's fun to drive. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't suggest the 195 with a 200 for your first time boat owners. You ain't ready, buddy.
Yeah, that's the discussion we have quite often with guys coming up and looking at the 195. Now the 205 a little more refined, handles
easier to drive.
I
drive and look at my cell phone or my grass with my 205. You cannot do that with 195. You have to drive that boat, and it's not a bad thing. It's just it's fast. I mean, it's just that boat with the 200 is just as fast or maybe faster if you know how to drive it than my 205 with a 250. Like it wants to run.
All right. Well, guys, I'm seeing some questions roll in. Let me pimp you again. Please give us a share and drop us those comments because that's how we're going to pick some winners or pick a winner. Let me jump in here. Patrick Barone Pizza gets nice. I love it. That was Patrick. They provided the pizza for us the other night.
Oh, gotcha.
Barone's Pizza and Arcade. They're kind of a buffet thing. And,
my kind of
great
thing.
Place to take the kids.
Right,
Oh yeah. All right. I subscribe to your YouTube channel. My son and I like watching your content. What made you decide to start a channel, and do you enjoy doing it?
Money is why I started doing a channel. I wanted to fish, and I couldn't figure out how to make money at it. That ain't what you wanted to hear, but I'm telling you the truth. I needed a way to make money at fishing, so I started a YouTube channel. Simple as that. I ain't got nothing else to tell you. That's it.
Have you had fun with that?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
I mean, it sucks sometimes, but like I think everybody's so scared of work that, like this sounds like a cute statement. People always say, well, do what you love and you'll never work in day in your life. That's bullcrap. Every job has its part that sucks. Like I get to fish for a living, and sometimes I have to do stuff that I don't want to do, but that's not a bad thing. Like I enjoy doing it, but yeah, it's got sometimes I don't want to stay up to 2 a.m. editing. Sometimes I don't want to edit at all. Like I want to go to bed just like y'all at 11 o'clock, or instead of shooting a video, I just want to go fishing, but I got to wear that daggum camera all the time. And that's just the truth. But there's other days where I enjoy it, where I'm like in a creative spirit and I want to edit and I want to fish and I want to talk to the camera. And there's some days I just want to set my shop and just tie up stuff and not talk to anybody. So yeah, I do enjoy it, but don't think it's this fantasy world where it's just like I just float and act like what's the you got girls, something on ice, the cartoon, that thing, Frozen on Ice. It's not frozen on ice all the time. Some days it is, but some days it sucks too.
All right, we got a few more Falcon questions. I'll tie this one together. Asking about the Predator, which is the hull you've got, and then how do you like the Falcon, the rod boxes?
Yeah, so he's asking about the Predator. So my hull this year is actually a prototype. It actually is the Predator. I don't have all the outside trimmings that makes the Predator, like the seats and the console, and I don't have all the pretty stuff, but the actual running surface of my boat is the F20 Predator. And the 205 has been like really high performance official, like that's an official tournament boat, right? There was just a few quirks that we felt like that we could refine on the boat to make it perform a little better. And so that's what the Predator is. Is basically we took the 205, just tweaked a few things here on the hull to make it perform better, make it pop out of the hull a little bit better. And one of the things that was always hard about the 205, it was hard to prop. It was a hard boat to prop, especially with Mercury engines. And so on the Predator, that was one of the things we refined. Whole shot, it comes up and over really easy. One person, two person, full of gas, full of live wheels. It comes out just fine. Corners a lot better. The Predator hull is just like it glues, it sticks to the corners a lot better. It doesn't roll and turn over on the side. That was two of the things that you're going to notice right off the bat. You got a little bit more room in between the console and the seat, like the driver's seat. There's a little bit more room there. You'll notice as soon as you sit down in the boat. But for the everyday guy, those are the three things I think you're going to notice the most about the Predator. There's some outside trimmings. The seats are upgraded. I think look really nice. The graphics, the new graphics that we got on the boat looks really nice. But the biggest thing I think you're going to notice in the performance is hole shot, cornering, speed stay pretty much the same. I got to be honest. We're just going to run about the same on top end as a 205 or the 20TE. So you're not going to have much difference there. But just those little things that make a difference in the day of tournament fishing is what we really kind of try to double down on and make good on the F20 Predator.
All right. And then how do you like the rod, the way the rod boxes are?
Yeah. After you use a Falcon with the, for you guys that don't know, Falcon, where he's talking about most of your boats, they're going to open laterally with the boat. Your rod locker opens this way, right? This is your boat. This is the front. This is the back. They open laterally with the boat. I guess I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of like horizontal.
Right.
I don't know. They open this way,
we're
right?
On the internet, it must be.
They open that way. Well, on Falcon, they open from basically from back to front. So they open, I guess that's actually laterally with the boat. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but they open this way, right? They open like Pac-Man, like that. Instead of like this, they open like that. And so what that does is it allows you to get your rods out of the boat when it's on the trailer. You know, like if your boat's on the trailer, I was just working on mine back there, and I was outside of the boat, taking rods out, putting rods back in. You can't do that with any other boat because you have to get in the boat to actually access your rods and your tackle locker on the driver's side. So it eliminates you getting in and out of the boat. It also keeps you from dumping rods in the lake. When you're out there on the lake, you need to grab something out of a compartment, you go in it. Normal bass boat, you're going to open it like that, and all your rods dump out or bunch up on the corner. With the Falcon, they're just going to stay right there on top, and you don't have to worry about them falling in the lake.
Well, I will definitely say if by some crazy chance you're watching this and you haven't seen Falcons, then because we sell a lot of them, I can guarantee you go to our website, and we got tons of photos, and I make sure that I get a photo of all the rod lockers open so you can kind of see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. I see Shane here. What about the favorite rods and reels? I'm not sure if there was anything more from maybe you dialed in late. I don't know. Is there anything more to say about favorites? You covered a lot of good stuff there.
No, yeah, maybe you got here a little late. Yeah, we talked about the rods a little bit. Got a couple new Signature Series rods coming out from a few of the anglers there at Favorites. So just as we say in the YouTube world, stay tuned. We got a lot of new stuff dropping from Favorite.
All right. Dustin said, "Thanks, Brian. Good luck on your upcoming tourneys."
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And what's up, Brian? Thinking about a Falcon. We're turning this into a giant Falcon commercial.
Yeah, it's just a Falcon deal. Don't think about it, buddy. Be about it. They got them. They got the boats, and you got to use them.
Did you see the one that may look a little like your buddy?
Yeah, the gray one. Yeah, they got one that's pretty similar to mine, a 20 Predator. It's that.
We got a 205 that's the Battleship gray.
Really, I didn't see that one.
It came in yesterday, and then we've got a black and silver.
I saw that one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the background of this. Sorry, guys, I had a great we moved all the boats and we were all set, and then it came pouring down rain, and it was super loud up there.
It's raining.
All right. I figure we probably would get into this at some point. What was working on, Neil?
Oh yeah, I was just flipping docks and shallowest docks that I could find. Very simple, easy fishing. But I did use a little worm that nobody else has. Z-Man, we're another project I've been working on. Working on a shaky head style straight tail worm, a 6-inch worm. We got a ton of stick baits. Z-Man, we got the bang sticks, we got zinkers, all your Ned stuff. But in my mind, we still didn't have just a good basic. We didn't have a replacement for a trick worm, is what I'm trying to say. Trick worm's great. It's been catching fish. I remember when the trick worm came out, when the Zoom trick worm, like when that hit the shelves, I remember that. I'm that old. Like I probably act a little younger than that, but I'm that old. So we didn't have that Elastic replacement for just a good old shaky head worm. So that was something that I've been trying to bounce back and forth with Z-Man for at least 2 or 3 years. And we finally started working on that project. And I caught them all on the little prototype worm, the little worm. We don't even have a name for it, but it's just 6-inch straight tail worm. Like there's so many worms. If you go up to the loft, you go to whatever your big box tackle store, every worm has got appendages and stuff hanging off of it. And when it's tough like this in the fall, when you can't catch many fish, like all that pretty stuff that you like with all the tails and tingles and all, that doesn't work. Like that doesn't work. You just need a straight worm. So every single one of them I caught, I may have weighed one fish on a crankbait, but that's what I caught them all.
What kind of colors?
Just red bug. When it was a little bit like clearer water, I was using red. And then when I would get in some of the darker water, some of the creeks had a little bit of stain. Some of the creeks were clear. It just depended on how much water flow they had in them. So I would use a red bug when it was in clear water, and I would use the June bug when I was in like more stain.
How are you rigging that up?
Just straight up Texas rig, old school, cuz that's all that works. It's old school. Texas rig, 3/16 ounce tungsten weight. I was using a owner. I was actually using a cover shot, which is it's made for drop shotting. But this was kind of like a finesse style of fishing. Like flipping a trick worm can be a little frustrating. You can't get it to skip. It's kind of light. But I was fishing, like I said, extremely shallow water, just the shallowest wood that I could find. It was mostly docks because it was like everybody found all the stumps and laydowns and all of that stuff. So after you hit those few little rows of laydowns and stumps that were setting out in the middle pockets, you had to start fishing docks. I was using that little owner cover shot, which is a finesse style. It was like 15-pound test line. It wasn't going in there with like an 8-foot flipping stick and braid and a big hook. That's not what this was. You had a little bit of water column. The fish were small. The fish were very smart and aware. So you had to kind of be finessey, but you had to be finessey in like shallow water column. That's something people don't talk about a lot. When you think about finesse fishing, most of the time people think of clear water, deep water, and that's not what finesse fishing is. A lot of times it's an approach to whatever cover you're fishing. It's not always just 8-pound test line and little bitty worms. Sometimes it's 15-pound test and a light sinker with a little worm, or maybe even a bigger worm. 6-inch worm is not really that small. So
okay,
that's what I use primarily.
All right. Can you talk a little bit about Garmin and their mapping? You've been a Humminbird Lake Master user for a while.
Yeah. That's a good question. I actually have had a Humminbird on just about the last 4 boats, and I only used it for mapping. I didn't even put the sonar. I threw the transducer away. I used to always keep I think it was a 998, whatever the little 9-inch screen Humminbird. I always kept one on my boat just for mapping. I don't have one on it this year because the Garmin, like their mapping system is really, really good. Even on these flat lakes, like where I live, where we got a lot of contour, everybody's mapping system is pretty good. But when you get on flatter lakes, Tennessee River lakes, when you get on places like Neely, get to Gunnersville, a lot of mapping systems don't show those little, like 1 foot, 2 foot contours, half foot contours, and I've been very satisfied with the mapping system at Garmin to the point where I don't even have to try to cheat to put a hummingbird on my boat anymore just for Lake Master. I don't have to have that anymore.
Well, speaking of Garmin, I am curious. Are you using the live scope much?
No. Short answer, no. I haven't been using it that much. That has a lot to do with just the style of fishing that I've had to do in the last few tournaments. So I haven't really been using it as much as my mapping. My mapping has been the thing that's really did the trick for me, because a lot of people don't think about mapping we think about mapping when we're fishing ledges. We think about mapping in the wintertime when it's really cold. We think about it when we're doing ledge fishing, but nobody thinks about shallow water fishing and using their mapping. And I use it to find like I would look for the biggest flats that I could find adjacent to the main river, or a creek that had the biggest flats. So I was using my mapping way more than live scope. Live scope is great. It's the coolest tool I ever used. But in the last few events, for me, what's been more important is my mapping.
Okay. I was just curious. Let's see. Michael, love the Battleship Gray.
Yes.
Yeah, that boat. So it just got in yesterday, so I don't have it on the internet yet. I did a little Instagram story, but I'll get pictures of that next week. We got a beautiful boat.
It's pretty.
It looks fairly similar to your boat.
Yeah, mine's. There's two different. What they call that one? Is that one called Battleship for real?
Yeah,
mine's Destroyer Gray.
Or Destroyer Gray. Maybe it is Destroyer Gray.
Yours,
okay,
that one's a different gray.
No, so we got a gray, and then because yours is more.
It's like a tannish brown. It's got some tannish. It's got some brown, greenish.
It looks a little greenish to me, but
looks a little aged. It's antiqued. We'll call it a patina.
Yeah, we got a.
How you like that?
We got a 205 in there that. Maybe I'm using the wrong color name. I can't.
I don't remember what it was. Mine was a Destroyer. I don't know what
Destroyer.
they call it.
Yeah, it was Destroyer Gray.
Yeah, Destroyer.
All right. Here's a question. You still like your 10 boat?
Do I? Heck yeah. Yeah, I fish out of it all the time. All the time. I have a little boat fetish. So like I'm into things that are 17 and smaller. The smaller I get a kick out of that kind of stuff.
All right. Have you and your son won any more tournaments?
No, we haven't. We hadn't had any tournaments. I was actually supposed to fish one with him the day I came here, but I had this, so he'd probably stay home and play Fortnite instead. I don't think he was that disappointed that we didn't get to go to the tournament, because he'd much rather spend his day playing Fortnite some days than going fishing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. All right. What's your rod and reel setup with that small worm?
Yeah, that's a good one. So I was and
a follow-up, the line as well.
The line, yeah, the whole setup. So I was using the Hex. It was the Hex, the favorite Hex. And once you guys look up that rod, I know that's not a rod for everybody. It's like, I'll be honest, I didn't have rods like that when I started fishing. It's a $399 rod, but God, it's so good. Like when you put that rod in your hand, you'll throw rocks at that Berkeley lightning stick or whatever whatever. $59.99. Like it's so good. It's so light. It's weighted perfectly, and it makes it easier when you're flipping like a little bitty piece of plastic like that. It's hard. Like if you don't have the right setup, it just when you go to flip it, it wants to go 10 foot in the air. But with the right rod and just the perfect action, you can get the bait to stay low. But it was a 7.2 medium heavy action Hex, and I was using the Lew's Pro TI, and I had 15-pound test Strike King Pro Grade fluorocarbon with the 3/16 ounce tungsten and that 4/0 owner cover shot. Okay. That's what my setup was. I had two of them on deck. Same. I was using, like I said, the June bug and the red bug, and my little worm, my little shaky head worm.
I see. Looks like Dano. The official color for the Predator that we have is oyster gray gel.
Cool.
It is. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's it's definitely more.
It's
getting more
gray.
of a bluish gray than mine. I've got more like a brownish gray. This is more of a bluish gray.
Well, that's the Predator. We have a 205 right across the way that looks pretty much like your boat. That same color.
I don't know what color I'm going with this year.
I
don't know. I saw something.
Is it already that time? God,
yeah, I saw something from a buddy yesterday that made like I want to copy it so bad, but then I don't want to piss him off. But I don't know if I can say that on camera. But yeah,
well, you just did. So
yeah, I just it's too late now. Sorry, but yeah, I saw a color yesterday that I really that I wanted to copy from a friend of mine, but I guess I gotta not copy him. But God, it was good. It was really good.
I guess this is more Falcon commercial, but that's one of the fun things that I think we really enjoy with Falcon. Of course, we sweat as a shop because a lot of the stuff that you see come in here, the stuff we color, because they don't have templated colors,
right.
It leaves you the option to get creative.
Right.
But it also, especially for us, when we're putting a boat in the showroom, you sweat that. Well, is anybody going to like this setup?
Yeah.
I would definitely say Justin and Dano and everybody around here that weighs in on that. I don't get in it because I don't want that responsibility. They've done a good job.
Like everybody's on bold and beautiful right now. Bold is the thing. Greens and like bold, like bright has been like the trend here recently. But for me, like even though that's the trend, I like it basic. Like I hate overdoing it. I don't like a lot of transitions. 2-3 colors max. I don't like a bunch of transitions and stripes and pinstripes and this and then that. I like, for me, less is more when it comes to colors. So I just like to do less.
All right.
Say what?
He's extremely focused.
Yeah, well, focus go, man.
I just grabbed your phone and took a selfie.
A selfie. Dano's taking pictures on my phone. So I'll post that for y'all later. He took the picture, but I get to make the caption that I post. Okay.
Oh, snap. All right. Did you go north or south of City Dock?
I went all of the above, cuz 50 gallons wasn't enough for me this week. I burnt all the gas in Gaston and Atala. I was very specific about what I was hitting, so there was no need for me to fish a whole creek. I literally fished from the dam and all the way to maybe about 7, maybe probably about 10 miles above Gaston up. So I fished, I ran and gun all day.
All right.
I didn't burn all 50 gallons, like I just exaggerated like I did, but I come pretty doggone close to burning my 50 gallons. I had them power poles whistling.
You must be getting familiar with the area, dropping a Tala. Most people just call everything Gadsden.
Yeah, that's where I stayed in my treehouse.
Awesome.
In Tala.
Yeah, I saw that post. That looked like a pretty.
Yeah, it was cool. I hated to leave this morning. That was a neat place.
All right, Mike Godfrey, what's your favorite bait this time of year?
The one they biting, because they don't bite squat in the fall. If you fish around here, if you live from probably, I'm going to say from Texas to as far north as probably Virginia, you know what it's like in October. It just sucks. Like, it is hard. Like, fishing sucks. And so, if they want a drop shot, that's going to be my favorite one for the day. If they want a crankbait, that's my favorite one for the day. I don't care. Just tell me where they at. Can I get 5 of them? That's all that matters. But seriously, probably one. It depends on the lake too. That's a pretty generic question. It depends on where you at, what the lake is, what's the species of fish, where we are. Almost always in the fall, it's a shad deal. So any of your shad representation type deals, crankbaits, spinner baits are usually going to be where I start. But sometimes they don't want that, because if you would have told me I had to keep a crankbait and a spinnerbait in my hand all week this week, I wouldn't have caught nothing. So,
all right. Shane said, "Come fish one of the aluminum fishing series tournaments in your 10 boat next year."
Where's that?
Shane actually, and I forget where are you, Shane? So he just bought an Avid, a high performance. He bought a beautiful 20 XB, big 20-footer. And
tell me more about this aluminum fishing series. Don't know anything about it. Put that in the comment section.
Yeah.
Is that here in just Alabama or
where? Where did we? Shane, tell us. I forget where we delivered the boat to you. But
put that in the comments. Tell me more about that. Some links or something, or is it just here, or is that a legit series all over the South, or what's going on here? That sounds like fun. Won't get to do it this year because we got like how many more? I think we got like 12 more tournaments before Christmas. I still have like.
Wait, do we have 12 more weeks before Christmas?
Yeah, they just said we're gonna have like 3 a week, basically.
3 weeks?
Yeah. So I got
on 2 different lakes at the same time.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
So I'm going to Cherokee today. I go to Texas, then back here. It's 3 more. 3 more. It doesn't sound like a lot, but by the time you have Thanksgiving, and then get home and make sure your kids got haircuts and stuff, man, buy a Christmas gift, the year's over with. So,
well,
yeah.
Of course, this year you can get away with a lot with haircuts. So,
can you really?
I mean,
you don't want to see me without
nobody's
a haircut,
going to get their haircut.
No,
so
we can't do that in my house. Which I cut my hair and my kids' hair. So,
all right. So good to know if you're looking for a good barber in the South Carolina, Belton, South Carolina area.
Yeah, $100 a cut.
Oh,
Bring it.
All right. So Shane said go to aluminumfishingseries.com.
I want to see about this aluminum fishing series. I'm gonna try this, Shane.
Right this second.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. Unless somebody's got some more questions. Aluminum. Maybe we'll have Buck sponsoring that. Aluminum fishing series.
I can neither.
Yeah, hey, say I get. What
are you signing us up for here?
I know.
Wait a second.
This could be good. No, that sounds fun for real. Well, but I wonder in this thing do they have like jet boats and all that?
Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee. The schedule's out. All right,
that's cool. Well, yeah, I pulled it up here.
Yeah, I'm all about
it. Website.
Man,
we'll check it out.
I'm stoked about that.
It looks like a nice boat. It really does.
Yeah, I got to edit up the 20XB video with Justin. I got a great one-liner that the GoPro was running, and it was a true honest assessment of the boat after we got done running for the first few minutes. I'll show it to you later. I can't.
Do everything.
It's got some exaggerated language.
Exaggerated language.
But it was a good honest. It was a good exaggeration. All right. Hard to turn down a falcon when you watch the videos of their background, Brian. Oh, okay. About the background of the owners and everything I'm talking. Yep. Brian talked a little bit about owner's background. Thought it was a really cool story.
Yeah. I don't really. I'm not sure I got to see that video. I know which one he talks about. I do know that
busy making videos, not watching.
Yeah. I know both of Tim and Steven. They started at Falcon at Stratus, and then Steven's dad was a guy that they owned Bumblebee, which was like a big brand in the 80s. And I want to say maybe early 90s or so. But yeah, so yeah, they're not new to the boat business. They know the coolest thing for me that I ever got to see. Like my dad was a gearhead. Like he was all into high performance boats. So I've always been really intrigued about like what makes boats fast, what makes them do this, what makes them do that. And so when they were working on the Predator, that Falcon's only like an hour from my house. I was able to kind of go in there and see them actually like bundling wood to a boat in like a hole. Like they would have like a lawn chair in a boat and cement and gravel and a barrel full of water. Like I got to see what it was like to build a boat, to make it perform the way that they wanted it to perform. I've always wondered like how do you actually make a boat have bow lift? How do you make it plane off good? And I got to kind of see a little bit of behind the scenes stuff that was cool. That was really, really neat for me because those guys are boat builders. They're not boat salesmen. Nothing against boat salesmen, but they are literally like they know what they're doing. They're not like pulling out a little manual and doing what people say. They're trying stuff and saying that doesn't work, throwing it away and starting off with another one. I thought that was really cool. See how that works.
Well, since I am a boat salesman,
Yeah.
I will say
Shots fired, right?
that has been so. I'm a guy that I've really only been really paying attention to bass boats for the last couple of years now that I've been at Buck. So I've got a lot to learn. Fortunately, I'm surrounded by a lot of good dudes that have a lot of history. I mean, I've been around. I was 10 years in the Navy on big boats.
Yeah.
But I've been around boats all my life. But one of the biggest things that I look at Falcon and have experienced is the people behind the brand.
Yeah, that's important.
And the ability for us to I mean, since we've had them here, pick up the phone and you call and you can get on, with Tim, Steven.
Right.
I know they're more than happy, with talking with customers. That they're the people. I mean, that's all I can really say. And that's been a lot of fun to work with them as they've grown and be a part of that. And just have the the knowledge that they're going to take care of the customers just like we try to. So
that's 100% how I ended up at Falcon. Just to be completely honest, like nobody wants to say this. I'm going to say it. There's a lot of good bass boats on the water. Like Falcon is great. It's not the only good bass boat on the water, but I came from a company where like you might get something wrong, and dude, it'd be the end of the year before I could get it fixed. I couldn't, I could not ever communicate, couldn't get things fixed. Didn't know when I was going to get my boat. I might get it, this month. It could be 6 months. I never knew, and it always kept me in limbo. But just being able to deal with like what he said, it was 100% the reason why I decided I wanted to go with Falcon. Is obviously the product is great, but like I said, like nobody really has a bad boat out there.
Yeah,
like they're all pretty doggone good. Quite honestly,
that's the reason why we got the skiers sitting in the background. Different boats for different folks.
Yeah,
it almost rhymes.
Yeah.
We brought Bass Cat in. Excited about that. That's going to be a little more performance oriented, but still from everything. I mean, the thing I will say that I've seen out of the Bass Cat group. The loyalty to that brand,
it's like Harley Davidson.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's a thing there with Bass Cat owners.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, maybe there's like crack cocaine or something like that.
You know what it is? Is you got to think about it. Bass Cat's it's a old brand. They've been around. I want to say at least since the 70s. So what happens is your dad had a Bass Cat. You think you got to have a Bass Cat. And then, so there's at least 3 generations a lot of times of people that are Bass Cat owners there. So it's probably one of the oldest brands besides Skeeter. Skeeter's really old. It's probably one of the oldest brands that's still on the water. So I think that has a lot to do with it. And it's a unique boat. It's pretty, it's unique. Like they do stuff that's very unique.
I'm excited to get some content in, get some guys that have been running and really pick brains.
Yeah.
All right, what do you really, really like about this? Because that's all I can go on.
Right. I get it.
I don't get to. I'm here all the time. I don't get to go get on the water all that much.
Yeah, just fight. Just tell them. Just go. You just have to go.
All right. Let's see here. Talk about your trip building a boat.
Talk about building a boat.
Well, you've been getting down shooting the video on building your last. I guess you've done that the last 2 years.
Yeah, I did it with every Falcon. I want to say that I had. I've had. This year was my 4th one. I want to say. So I had the red one, the blue one. No, this year is the 3rd one. The one that I'm about to do will be the 4th one. Yeah, dude, go check it out on YouTube. You'll see everything that there is to talk about it. Just type in my name, Falcon Boat. You'll probably get 15, 20 videos about Falcons on there. But it's cool to be able to see your boat being built. It's almost like building a house. They'll spray the hull one day, and then they'll put the fiberglass in, and you're like, dude, I'm gonna have my boat by like Friday. And then it's like when they put the framing up on a house, it goes up in a week, and then it just when they start getting into the intricate details, it slows down the build a lot. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah,
it's not just 2 pieces sandwiched together and it goes like this. That is it to a certain extent, but there's a lot of. I don't want Opie's job. I'll just put it that way. Opie's is a guy he's the guy that's the guy at Falcon. He's had his hand. If you have a Falcon right now, Opie has touched your boat. That sounds bad, doesn't it? Opie has touched your boat.
Yeah, he has.
He touched your boat. I promise you.
Well, they do. I mean, coming straight out of the factory, the rigging job that they're doing. I mean, the attention to detail has been very impressive out of Falcon. So a lot of people think, and I've learned this from Mr. Tony Lumpkin, who's the owner of Bucks Island, who has literally been in this industry for his entire life. So you know, going on what, 73 years, 72.
72.
But you know, he's dealt with a lot of customers that think, oh, I want to go pick up my boat from the factory. You know, I want to go pick it up from the plant. And the reality is you don't. You want it to come through a good dealership that's going to be that final Q&A. The guys at the plant are building boats to deliver to us. And then we put all the finishing touches and all that kind of stuff on there. So
there is a lot left.
I would have thought the same thing, you know, 3 years ago. Oh, I want to go, you know, pick it up straight from.
You gotta get your batteries put in. You gotta get your graphs put in. You got your transducers. Don't put the transducer here. Put it here. You know, like there's a lot. There's just so many little intricate details that go into a boat build that you probably never even thought about.
Opie and his crew over there at Falcon do. They deliver us a great product, and I can't say enough good things. Man, we've really filmed a boat commercial, I think.
Yeah, it's all been about Falcon.
All right, rod and reel set up for chatterbait.
It's going to be the one that I'm designing for favorite, that R7. It's not out yet. It'll be out in 21. So for chatterbait, I like graphite composite. A little longer than 7 foot. I got a 7.2 medium heavy graphite composite rod. That's it, man. Just I usually almost always throw 20-pound test fluorocarbon. And I like a slower reel, 6/8. I don't like to go like in the 5s, but 6/8 to 1. And then I know when I say that, some people say, well, that's not slow. Well, yeah, it is compared to 8.5/1 or the 10/1 ones that a lot of manufacturers have now. So yeah, it is slower than a lot of them do. But I want it fast enough that if one hits it and he's coming to me, I can catch up with him. So that's why I don't use the real slow ones.
We'll go just a couple more minutes. So if you haven't dropped a comment in there, do that, and then we'll pick a winner and let you get on the road.
All right.
I did see here, Shane, 12 years, retired Army. Thank you for your service, sir. Appreciate that. Too bad it's Army. I mean, I can't hold that against you.
I ain't saying nothing good, buddy.
All right. Customer service is everything. That's why we use Bucks to service our boat. Well, thank you.
Right. Exactly
I'll make sure that Angela and her crew down the service.
She's standing right there, so she heard that. Next time you come in here talking about, man, I got tournament Thursday. You think you get it to me in 2 hours? I've been that guy several times. And she smiles at me and doesn't tell me how many 100 boats are sitting in the service yard. So
yeah, we got
air hug, Angela.
Next time you make the trip here, bring the kayak and let's fish. Robbie's one of the local kayak guys. He runs one of the tournaments here. So
perfect.
You're gonna see him running around in his Jackson. I've learned a lot from talking with him because I'm learning the kayak stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Did you fish jigs at all this week?
I did actually. I actually caught some on it too. The first day of practice. I didn't work out in the tournament though. Too many people fishing. Too hard. If it would have been like a normal week, that's one thing I don't think people realize about tournament fishing. They see, like, you think when we have like when I was fishing the FLW tour, 170 guys, or the Bass Opens where it can be as many as 250 guys. Like, the dynamic of the lake is different when you put 400 people, including co-anglers, on a lake for 3, 4, 5 days. All those easy fish that you're catching when it's a 50 boat club tournament, 10 boat club tournament, that ain't there no more. So they don't want it's different. Then it gets hard because people have been by that dock that you just fished 75 times. I can't tell you how many times I was fishing docks this week. And the person, they come out on the dock and say, is there a tournament going on? We've seen 20 boats in this pocket. And I'm like, yeah, thanks for telling me that, you know. So yeah, fishing gets hard when there's a lot of boats. You know, it's the same for all of us, obviously. But what I'm saying is like all that cool stuff, jigs and top waters and buzz baits and pop Rs, a lot of times that doesn't work, especially on a smaller lake like this, you know, 11,000 acres. You kind of got to get sneaky to catch, you know, catch what you can catch.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up.
Cool.
Let me ask you this. What is your personal best largemouth?
It was a 912 that I caught at Lake Secession in 2012, so it's been 8 years ago. And then it's funny, I caught that 8 years ago. I'm 38 years old. I caught, until then, my biggest was a bass that I caught when I was 10 years old in a tournament. It's an 8-pounder I caught on number 7 Shad Rap on Clark's Hill. I caught an 8-pounder, and it took me 20 some odd years to catch one bigger than the one I caught when I was 10 years old.
All right. Well, I'm going to take that and I'm going to round it up to 10, and I'm going to scroll through the comments, and you tell me when to stop, and then we're going to count. We'll count down from wherever we stop on. We'll count down 10, and that'll be our winner.
I'm counting.
No, you're just going to tell me when to stop.
Just tell you when to stop?
Just tell me when to stop.
Just stop then.
All right. So we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to go. I went down too far, so I'm going to go back up 2. Well, Shane, you already won.
Who's this? Shane,
didn't you win earlier? Well, I can't win.
Well,
I guess
people should have commented. He just wins twice.
I guess he's winning twice.
That's how you win. You just got to comment.
All right. So he's getting additional 5 tickets into the giveaway. Our virtual door prize.
Yeah.
As we're calling it.
I like this guy. Sponsor me. Whoever the sponsor me guy was. Oh, it's Shane. I think it's Shane. That was Shane. This is who's sponsoring you, buddy.
I think he's still asking for Bucks Island to sponsor him in the 10 boat.
Okay, gotcha.
I think that's the context. I don't know. I'll have to go back. My brain's kind of fried from talking fishing all morning and afternoon. So I don't know how you guys do it.
Yeah, try actually fishing for 15 days in a row.
Well, of course. So tomorrow I'm gonna get out on the water. Speaking of going fishing, I don't get to go fishing. Yeah. I'm gonna be chasing. We had a local. Coley McGowan won the Hobie BOS tournament here a couple weeks ago. 185 inches, I think, in 2 days.
I saw that. I was here when that was going on.
So he and I are going to get on the water on his kayaks tomorrow morning and see if we find him a couple of fish and answer questions. Another live. And then we're going to be out with Tracy Robinson starting around noon. We'll be out on Neely with him on his skeeter, and then wrapping up tomorrow afternoon with Wes Logan. We'll be out picking his brain on what he used this past week. So, man, thank you so much for
thank you, man.
hanging out.
Appreciate
and all that you do.
Thank you guys for coming and asking questions and participating and getting those free tickets. Just comment. That's all you got to do.
That's the truth. Yep,
that's easy.
Is easy enough. So thanks, guys. That's going to do it for today. Don't forget 10% off on the tackle. If you're shopping online, discount code is REAL. You can find that over on our Facebook page. Sign up for the email. You'll get those delivered midnight every night on what the code is. So we're doing categories each day online. Gotcha. Or you can come in here and everything in the store in person is going to be 10% off the whole week. Gotcha. So, yeah. And then for every $10 a tackle you buy, you're getting another entry into the raffle. So
I got to go get my raffle. I think I just spent like $200 up there.
I
got to go get my raffle tickets.
So if you win, I guess, do you fish with yourself or are we going to pair you up with?
Yeah. Let's see. We'll work it out.
All right.
We'll work that out. I got to go get my raffle tickets.
We're also, I keep forgetting, we're also throwing in some free tackle out of the grab bag. So I think it's for every $100, you're going to get 2 pieces of tackle for free. And then for the first $50, you're going to get an additional. So lots of opportunity to get some good value, and we got a bunch of stuff to give away.
Yep.
Strike King sent us 1,000 spools of monofilament.
Did they
So
really? Yeah.
I think everybody's going to end up winning line. So
Perfect.
all right, guys, thanks so much. Go watch some football or whatever it is you do
Bring
on a
some
Saturday.
wings.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound good.
All right, we'll see you guys. Have a good day.